Good morning, family. Happy Sunday. Let's welcome and greet our Heavenly Parent and true parents. 하늘 부모님과 천지인 참 부모님께 경배. 바로. Now for our family pledge, let's welcome Pastor Milhan Stevens.
가정맹세 1. 한여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과皇族권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천여극 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, Pastor Milhan. Now for our opening prayer, I'd like to invite Reverend Joshua. Reverend Josh, could you please pray for us today?
Sure. Please join me in prayer. Honorable and beloved Heavenly Parents, spirits divine and true parents of heaven and earth and mankind, good morning. This Sunday morning, so grateful we can wake up today and be able to attend you, be able to receive you this morning, hear your words, and I pray that we can really be receptive to what the message for today is. We can carry it in our hearts and really connect with yours as well. We connect and align with your mother's heart as well. And as we continue into this week, we can really get a glimpse of what it is you want us to do in a way in which we can, through our efforts, through our actions, we can really unite with you in the direction of heaven at this time. I'm grateful for everything that we're experiencing. Even though we might face challenges, we can orient that to see the opportunities in it and figure out how we can actually unite with you more based on our response to. So as more of the family is coming on this call, I pray for their well-being and that we can really have a successful call this morning. And thank you. And I close this prayer in the name of Tasha Taski, the good Taski Pastor family, and everyone gathered here on Shalom.
Thank you, Reverend Josh. Okay, family, let's take a few moments to share our gratitude, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Dr. Stewart, Therese, would you like to share with us, share with everyone today about what we just shared about? You'd have to unmute again. Thank you.
I just was telling Alfonso and Kathleen that I feel very blessed every weekend, because on Saturday I attend Farley Jones' session on Zoom on contemplative prayer or meditation. And we spend about 20 minutes in meditation, and then we have a reading and we talk about things. And it's very uplifting. But anyway, then that puts me into the mode or the mood of having been to Sunday service. That's so all day Saturday I'm thinking it's Sunday, and all day Sunday I'm thinking it. Well, anyway, so I'm very very grateful when I woke up this morning and realized, no, it's not Monday, it's Sunday. So it's like I get an extra weekend day, extra Sunday. And I'm very enthusiastic about the fact that we're preparing, Sebastian is working on Chansha 1 room for the Albany Church. And I like our Chansha 1 prayer every day as it is. And it's nice to know there's going to be one in there at that point. That's really all I have to share this morning. Thanks.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. I really hope that you guys get the Shunshin One in the Albany Center. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, we're working on it. Mm-hmm.
Good, good. Okay, brothers and sisters, now it's time for our Godable reading. We're reading from the Mother of Peace, our True Mother's Memoir. Reverend Sebastian.
Okay. Thank you, Joshua. You gotta push the button. It doesn't move for me. Yeah.
Welcome to Mother of Peace, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. A memoir by Hak Jahan Moon, a production of the Washington Times Global Media Group, narrated by Alison Hiroto. Without sacrifice and service, one cannot even begin to think one is living for the sake of others rather than for oneself. As I strictly cultivated my faith from a young age, I cherished a dream deep within my heart. That dream was to liberate my Heavenly Father, who, throughout history, gave himself for the salvation of humanity. I wished to free him from the chains of our fallen history. We cannot meet God from a position of reigning over others. He finds us when we are silently working for the sake of those in greater difficulty than ourselves. I came to know that when we think about God's will from the lower position, the position of offering and self-sacrifice, God's bitterness washes away, and He will come to us. During the post-war years, the streets of Seoul were full of the wounded. Numerous children, including war orphans, were suffering from hunger and disease. Few people were able to get timely treatment when they became sick. I wanted to heal people's injuries, relieve their pain, and guide them to a brighter world. As it was time for me to enter high school, in the spring of 1959, I entered St. Joseph's Nursing School. Heavenly and Earthly Phoenixes. In the late 1950s, it wasn't easy for a single mother. My mother managed to make ends meet by doing any odd job that came her way. She did not rest even a moment in her devoted life of prayer, and in that way she triumphed over those hardships and tribulations. One day, however, she announced to her small family, "I've been living meaninglessly. I must live a life of greater value." she left my maternal grandmother and me in the care of my aunt and moved into the Chongpadong Church and dedicated herself completely to church activities. She chose to take on the most menial of tasks. People would try to dissuade her, but she pursued such work with a joyful and grateful heart. She had lived a life of devoted faith in North Korea, greater than anyone, but started at the bottom in the Unification Church. She overworked herself, however, and her body grew weaker and weaker until she became seriously ill. Luckily, a church member she knew from the Inside the Womb Church took her in. This person, Mrs. Oh Young-chun, was like a sister to her. They lived together in the Noryeonjin neighborhood, and as they cared for each other, my mother gradually recovered her health. While at nursing school, I attended Chongpadong Church every Sunday. One day, when my mother saw me there, she took me to a corner and softly whispered, "A few nights ago, I had a dream that was hard to understand." "What did you dream?" I asked. "There were women from church wearing white holy robes and standing there holding pink flowers," she said. "Then I saw you walking toward Teacher Moon." At that time, we called Father Moon Teacher. All of a sudden, thunder roared and lightning crashed from the sky and struck one spot. There you were, and other women all looked at you enviously. She paused, collecting her thoughts. "That's when I woke up. I think it means that something will happen that will shake the world." "I think so too," I replied. "I'm sure it is a prophetic dream, but I don't want to guess more than that." My mother did not imagine that this dream was a revelation from God, a prophecy that her only daughter would be called to become the true mother who would give her life for the world. But I had been thinking constantly about the word sacrifice and had determined to live a life of sacrifice for God. This dream fit with that, and I had a sense of its meaning. In the late autumn of 1959, Father Moon conducted a national missionary workshop at the Chongpadong Church, and I participated with my mother. I was on one side of the overcrowded church, busy with the workshop, but could see that on the other side, elder sisters were quietly working on another important matter. A few months earlier, senior grandmothers of deep faith had begun preparations for Father Moon's marriage. They were considering which among the women of the church could be God's choice to be his bride. As I was only a schoolgirl and so much younger than Father Moon, my name would not have come up. Then one day, one of the sages among the grandmothers sought out Father Moon to tell him about her dream. "I saw many flocks of cranes flying down from the heavens," she told him, "and even though I kept trying to shoo them away, they came and covered Teacher Moon." Father Moon provided no interpretation, so the elder sister continued with confidence. "I believe my dream is revealing God's will, that your bride's name will include the Chinese character for hawk, crane." Shortly after I heard that, my mother told me another revelation she had received in prayer. A phoenix flew down from heaven, and another flew up from the earth to meet it. The phoenix from heaven was Father Moon. It brought to her mind her dream from years before, when she went to Daegu to meet Father Moon, the dream in which a pair of golden dragons bowed down in the direction of Seoul. My mother thought about what all this might mean, and then one morning at dawn, she received a heavenly message. She had just taken a cold shower, and it came as she was reciting our pledge prayer. "The phoenix descending from heaven represents the true Father," she announced, and the phoenix rising from the earth represents the true mother. My mother was happy with this understanding, but she continued quietly with the workshop and didn't speak about it. In the months following my 16th birthday, I matured quickly, and it caught people's attention at church. Members would mention that I looked elegant and neat. I would hear someone say, "Hakja is peaceful and virtuous. She is like a crane, befitting her name." And another, "She's also very polite, and if you watch, you will see she is very observant and has clear judgment." I stood out when I was with members of the congregation. People commented that I had an untainted purity, that I was one with God's will, and that I had embraced the virtue of obedience through the difficulties I had endured in North Korea. Hearing such comments, I disciplined myself not to feel proud or act carelessly. More than anything else, for his bride-to-be, Father Moon was looking for a person with a sacrificial and devoted heart of living for others. He did not care about family background, economic status, or appearance. She had to be a woman with absolute faith who could love the world. She had to be a woman who could conceive of saving the world. Because he had been unable to find such a woman, there had been no marriage of the Lamb. He still did not fully know that the heavenly bride, who would become the mother of heaven, earth, and humankind, was close by. I had come to understand God's will, but I couldn't say anything. To recognize the bride was Father Moon's mission and responsibility. The Heavenly Bride. A short time later, Mrs. Oh Young-chun, the devout member who had taken in my mother, went to her job in a clothing store on the second floor of the Nakwan building in central Seoul. She assisted the store owner at making garments. The owner was a longtime member we called the Prayer Grandmother. When Mrs. O arrived, the owner was sewing together a man's suit. Mrs. O sat next to her as she pumped the wheel of the sewing machine and asked casually, "Oh, who is the suit for?" "This suit is for Father Moon," was the grandmother's answer. "He is going to wear it at his engagement ceremony." Mrs. O perked up immediately, and her eyes widened as she asked the natural question, "Who is to be the bride?" "Well," replied the grandmother nonchalantly, "the day of the engagement has been decided, but the bride hasn't been chosen yet. However, the ceremony is going to be held soon, and so I am making his suit." Mrs. O's mind was buzzing. Who is going to be the bride? She pondered the question, but couldn't come up with any possibilities. Mrs. O was a person who often heard God's voice in revelations. In fact, she had been offering prayerful devotions for 7 years for the sake of the appearance of the true mother. She right away took her question to God in prayer, and she received a revelation. Because Eve fell when she was 16 years old, the heavenly bride needs to be younger than 20. This had never occurred to her before. It was only then that she understood the logic of God's will. She asked God again and again, "Who is the heavenly bride who is younger than 20? And before long, she thought of me. "I know Hak Jahan, who is around 16, she said to herself. "She often sits right next to me in church. Why didn't I think of her? Could it really be her?"
Thank you to Mother for sharing your life experience and for your heart with which you have gone forward and sharing with us so much about you and about true Father and about our Heavenly Parent, and so much to learn here. As this particular section here shows, we're concluding what True Mother was building up to. And as I shared yesterday, I was kind of amazed that it was kind of clearly stated here about Mother meditating on the word sacrifice, and the self-sacrifice and offering, and that she would want to comfort God's heart, and God's bitterness would wash away, and God will come to us. So I had to think about that heart. It's kind of natural and free. And True Mother's been raised in a very protected environment, so she naturally had this heart, which, as you might know, unification thought defines as heart being the irrepressible feeling of, or the emotion of love, of giving something to the object. So this is what her natural inclination is, and she has lived this out, both in her vertical relationship with God, and then her concern for the people around her, wanting to be a nurse. So she entered St. Joseph's Nursing School. So that is so beautiful, and this is how true parents entered the United States in 1971, December. Mother came as described in her visa as a nurse, and Father as a doctor, as he said later in the Yankee Stadium speech. So this is so true to the quality of true love that we all are looking for, and that we now experiencing by true parents giving it to us through thick and thin. So, and that reminds me again of what Damon did. Incredible groundwork. Then all the ancestors of True Mother that we have learned a lot about, and for True Father as well. And that includes all our ancestry. Everything good that they have done is being accumulated to be a foundation for what we're experiencing right now. So definitely God is cashing in on all the good that has been done. And Damon especially, she went over the top. I mean, I've been living meaninglessly. That's just such a overwhelming statement. She, Damon, having living meaninglessly, having sold for her life to prepare things for, to make suits and stuff, and looking for the Lord of the Second Advent, and knowing that he comes in the flesh. And then she says, have been living meaninglessly. That must have been really giving God a big smile. And then she put herself to the grindstone, almost losing her health completely. Thank God there were other members and sisters especially that were helping her then to gain back her health. And so what also struck me during this particular session was the symbolism that is being used. God uses symbols, like Jesus talked about, I have spoken to you in parables and symbols, but the day will come when I speak to you plainly about the Father. So, and we know the interesting thing that struck me was, like, there is sun, young moon, sun, the sun, and then there's the word moon also, sun and moon, is in there. And the meaning of the sun and the meaning of moon is just incredible, life-giving. And as True Mother said, the qualities are very different of the sun and of the moon, something to meditate on. Then the other thing is trains, that mother's father had a dream about trains, and that's why he called her a crane, a huck. So then the phoenixes and the dragons. I have looked up on the internet the phoenix meaning for the Koreans. It's different for Asian countries. In China, for instance, a lot different. For Western world, phoenix is some bird that comes out of the ashes of a fire. But in Korea, it has to do with royalty, with immortality, with authority, and all these wonderful things. Also the dragon, very similar to that. And how God has been using that tool. But just think about, True Father always used to describe the divine principle, he used a lot of diagrams. You know, there's these diagrams, the blackboard is almost completely white with diagrams, and then he wipes it off and makes another diagram. And the four-position foundation, for instance, it took me the longest time to learn how to appreciate the four-position foundation. And then with the help of one of my brothers here, Peter Nordquist, I learned that actually most of the major religious traditions, they have these mystic symbols that then people meditate on, and that they get all these kind of revelations, you know. And that's what was true again for the people that prepared for the coming of Jesus. They followed these symbols, like the kings, and then the revelations that Simeon and Anna got, and the shepherds, you know, the angels were hearing to them. So similar kind of process, a slow revealing and unveiling of God's providence through symbols and diagrams now. And I want to encourage you to meditate on those. It's so deep. Then there was another prophetic dream, and dreams. God uses dreams a lot. So it's just amazing that I'm not sure if I lost my way here, but what Father was looking for was, okay, the senior grandmother's deep faith had begun preparation for Mother's marriage, okay? To Mother, while in the meantime, had been thinking about the word sacrifice, meditating on the word sacrifice, the higher sacrifice, the whole offering. And in so many ways, I mean, True Mother took that into the most intimate of relationships between a husband and wife, making a sacrifice of determining right off the bat. She says to Father, I will have many children for you. So it's just incredible, the way that she determined to sacrifice. So there was another dream preparing for Father Moon's marriage, about, you know, the grandmothers are sewing and preparing things for the engagement ceremony. Yeah, so we already talked about the crane, and then we are talking about the dragons already, and the phoenixes, and then True Mother's mother had this dream again, and she received a heavenly message that she had taken, you know, done her condition, and then she says, oh, the phoenixes, they mean True Father and True Mother, but she didn't know any more after that. So it's like step by step. And True Mother heard these dreams and heard these inspirations, but then she said, obviously realizing this is all pointed at her, she disciplined herself and not to be feeling proud or act carelessly, because she saw that she was going to be center stage, being called to be the mother of the universe. So that is exactly what Father came up with. He was looking for a person with a sacrificial and devoted heart, not what kind of background they had and all that, but a woman that could conceive of saving the world. He was looking for a woman that could conceive to save the world. And that is just incredible. That is the content of the person he looked for. That is just totally amazing to me. And then Mother clearly also pointing out that she couldn't say, I am the one, you know, that's absolutely not a no. She couldn't say that. She had to wait for Father to actually figure out all his inspirations and all the women coming to him and telling him all the dreams. He had to wait for confirmation from heaven. So there she is, Mrs. O, one of those powerful, devout members at that time, one of the prayer grandmothers, meeting up with her, the owner of the business, where she was making a suit, and there was a suit. Yeah, well, this suit is for Father Moon, and well, the date has been set, but the bride hasn't been chosen yet, so they're making the suits already. So again, it reminds me of what Damonim did, and this other lady making in that church, making suits for the coming of the Lord. They didn't know when he was going to come and who it was, but they were making suits. So it's kind of a very different way of looking at things, to making a goal with the content in it already. It's like, I'm very, very taken by that. The fact that the goal, the date was set. It's kind of one of the things in setting goals. You have to put a date to it. And the bride has to appear. We don't know who she is, but she has to be a woman that can conceive of saving the world. So that was on Father's mind, and all the members were doing the same thing, preparing, making a suit for the engagement ceremony. So this is just totally amazing to me, and it's so chock full of education, what True Mother is sharing with us here, of how to proceed. So I want to encourage you, as Dr. Stewart, Therese said this morning, she really enjoys going through this contemplative prayer in the morning with Father Jones, where we practice meditation, to consider what is going on inside of our hearts. And if you look at in the Royal Scripture number 2, which one of the 8 books that Father designated, in the section on meditation, Father speaks about the hints and suggestions that God gives us during the day. And he said that you got to really pay close attention to them. Do not take them lightly. And this session was totally about that. Everybody was not taking anything lightly that was coming to them, all these symbols, all these hints, all these suggestions. And the final one was that the woman that needs to be there needs to be younger than the woman that fell. So she needs to be younger than 20 years of age. And there she was, True Mother, the only one, a high school young teenager at the age of 16. I know Hak Chahan, who is around 16. Could it really be her? Still asking the question. But then it became clear. It was announced, and now there she is. There she is, our True Mother. So thank you, True Mother, for guiding us again and inspiring us again. And this is all of my reflection. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you very much, Reverend Sebastian. Okay, family, let's take a few moments to share our reflections, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you. Janella, would you like to share with everyone? You got cut off, so I'd like to hear. If you could share with us, Janella, you probably have to unmute again. Yeah, you have to unmute again, Janella.
Really? Okay. I will continue.
No, you got cut off.
Okay. Good morning. And oh, really? Oh, that's my internet. I think my internet is not good if I cut off. Oh, so I will continue, right?
Please.
I'm gonna start from beginning. All right. Yeah, that's my reflection. True Mother is really amazing. True Mother represent all women. So all women. So I think woman is more important than man. Sorry to say that, even though we're equal. When God created Adam, God said it was good. But when he created Eve, it was really very good. So it's really satisfied Heavenly Father, Heavenly Parent, when he created Eve. So that's how important is True Mother. Even True Mother, when he was not, she was not a period, she was conceived by her mother. She was really being prepared by God. So True Mother very precious, and this time True Mother is very, very important. She is the most living, alive person who is very worthy to bring victory to Heavenly Parent. He is the most worthy this time to really remove our original sin, all humanity, even the spirit world. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you, Janella. Robert Moore, can you please share with us what you shared with us in the breakout room? Because I think it's really important. You have to unmute.
Oh, that was my sharing.
Robert.
Okay, it's what struck me previously, we True Mother was writing about the son of the founder of the Holy Lord Church, directing True Mother's mother to Unification Church and True Father. And today we learned that Mrs. O came out of the came from the inside the womb church, took care of True Mother when she got sick at the she was devoting all her time to church. She got sick there. She took care of her. And so this struck me that, a lot of times we think that the Christian churches failed to recognize True Father, but it's not really the case. Because these two churches had a very, very important effect on the providence, really. There's they say the son of the founder of the Holy Lord Church directed True Mother's mother to the Unification Church. Use the instrumental, otherwise maybe she would never found it. And also Mrs. O, who came out of inside the belly, inside the womb, inside the womb church. She took care of her mother's mother when she came ill. So these two really Christian churches really did have an effect on certainly on True Mother and her family. That's my main reflection.
Thank you very much, Robert. I never thought of it that way before, man. Thank you very much for your sharing.
Yeah, I never did either to this memoir.
Thank you. All right, brothers and sisters, do we have any prayer requests today?
I just want to plug in the Junction 1 Rebirth Workshop and pray that as many people as possible can participate through your YouTube, as it was now given out by headquarters. I don't know if everybody got it, but that's available now. It starts at 10 o'clock, and you can plug in with the link that was sent out by Odergo. Also through the Manhattan Family Church and also through the New Jersey, the Northeast region, Yunmi, Rangala. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, brothers and sisters, let me just check the chat here. Oh, Reverend Josh just put the link in the chat. It's the New Jersey Family Church's YouTube page. You want to check that out. Thank you, Reverend Josh. Okay, brothers and sisters, it's time for our unison prayer, the 7 minutes unison prayer. So let's begin. Shija, most beloved Heavenly Parent.
Thank you, Heavenly Parent, for this amazing insights from Robert Moore, especially about the support that we receive actually from Christian churches, Father. For my neighbor who is literally taking care of us and supporting us, even though he's not a unificationist. In so many ways, Father, I'm having hope because of him and his wife and his brother-in-law and all the different people, Father, that have come out from different traditions, from the Jewish tradition, from the Muslim tradition, the Presbyterians, Father, and also the Church of God in Christ. Pastor Miles, Father, is such an inspiration to me and giving me hope, Father, that we can go together into the future beyond our religious differences, because we can eat together, we can work together, we can help each other, we can help others. So grateful for the Junction 1 Rebirth Workshop that is behind all that, is fueled by our two mothers' love for us all, who is comforting you, Heavenly Parent, as she is comforting us, and is comforting two fathers, and just serving him, and taking care of him, wanting to have another bite to eat, and saying, don't you worry about anything, I'll take care of everything. All these things, forgetting herself in the process, and making so much beautiful environment as a mother's embrace. And she was saying that the Hyojang Guri, to create the environment, Father, where we want to be. Just very nice food, nice surrounding, and a lot of laughter, with the parent, a lot of wonderful time. And we're just part of the family. We don't have to worry about a thing, standing up there on stage and worrying about the big crowd. They're all family. It's everybody has family experience, Father, here. So grateful for each one of my brothers and sisters to come onto this call. Thank you for Ray Beth came onto this call, even though she feels very bad this morning. For Henry to come on, for Therese, and for Dr. Sonneborn, for all our elders, Father, who've gone to and for all the brothers and sisters, for the young people like Joshua Kudakowski, who is so handy with his keyboard, Father, and ability, Father, to express himself, and everything that she says is so future-oriented. We pray especially also for Reverend Ilhan Stevens, that he can make the best of this experience while saying goodbye to his grandmother and a meeting with his cousin and with his brother. Pray that you please bless each one of my brothers and sisters here on this call. You know, we are a small group, Father. Pray that you please be with Avira and Ichinori, Father, with Michael and Maria, and with Jennifer, everybody in the Junction 1 environment. Pray, Father, especially for the courtesan, the idols, the losses, the hellers, capiers, the stewards, Father, the lotzes, and the greens, the Gutowskis, the Myros, Father, the rib, the maize, whites, and the Sooks, the Moors, Father, and Junella in the Philippines, and for the Valentines, all our brothers and sisters who are gathered here together. I pray that you keep encouraging each other. I pray also for my wife Eric, my sisters, Katie especially, that she can recuperate not only from the physical trauma that she's gone through, but for that spiritual trauma that really must have shaken her confidence and her ability, Father, to see things as she always does, Father, from that adventurous spirit.
I've been watching us to
digest what this means all to her, not to get stopped by what happened to her, that she knows how much you love her, the prayers of Psalm 91, to the angels, to Ernie, Father, that she can go continue, and also that she can challenge the worlds of the heart, which are more difficult to visit, Father, to be a diplomat in, Father. And with that knowledge, Father, especially to connect to you, because with connecting to you can solve everything, as it said in the Bible. Everything is possible. Everything can be resolved, as the Father said. By principle, we can solve everything, Father. With the words about your mother, the presence now, so grateful for her being in this position now to be directing everything, Father, to make everything very warm. Pray for the darklings and the camps and the Usharodas, all the brothers and sisters are hosting the Johnson One Rigorous Workshop in the church, and everybody can have a wonderful time, Father. If all the people are going to join in on the internet, that they can understand, that you can speak to them, the Spirit Word can speak to them, give them spiritual assistance. And in case they don't understand certain things, tell them and then family.
and
For
under
all my brothers and sisters who are going to be involved in that. Here in the United States, in Europe, Father, in Norway, in Great Britain,
and storming
in Kenya, Father, everybody who has the opportunity to watch this, please allow them to watch it. And for John Kirkley especially, he can join this John Long event, Father, as well as Oswita, and also Reverend Violet, and for all brothers and sisters here in the state that are called to participate. And a lot of them, 300 of them, are in New Jersey at the Cliff Family Church right now. Hey, Father, they'll understand, but all the brothers and sisters that are going to go to the 43rd Street and to participate from there. But all the brothers and sisters that are able to participate on the internet, we can cherish, Father, technology, give ourselves, Father, and allow that.
Thank you, everyone, for your prayers. Do we have any announcements? Well, I hope you all have a great day. Happy Sunday.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you, Reverend Sebastian.
Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, Reverend Sebastian, for stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, Milhan is wearing big shoes. He's like, yeah, long fellow. You know, he didn't even aware that he has big feet.
Yeah, sure.
All right, God bless you.
Bye, everybody. Take care.